We're so excited to have you with us for day 2 of the 22nd annual Central Texas African American Family Support Conference. In case you missed yesterday, my name is Kimberly Holiday, and I'm a motivational speaker, a mental health advocate, youth peer support specialist, and serving on the Pflugerville City Council, but known to most of you as Lady Joy.
And I'm Elliot Nyblack, educator, peer mentor, founder of Reality by Design Consulting, and Chief Education and Equity Officer at the D. Wood Foundation.
Like it or not, you are stuck with us as your MCs again today. I hope you all gained valuable knowledge and inspiration from yesterday. We have more coming your way today, thanks to our generous sponsors, St. David's Foundation, Ascension Methodist Health Ministries, United Way of Greater Austin, Sendero Health Plans, NAMI Central Texas, the Austin Alumni Chapter Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, the Texas Council for Developmental Disabilities, the University of Texas at Austin, Addiction Research Institute, Dell Medical School, UT Austin, the Wood Group, and AISD.
This conference is for everyone. Individuals, families, faith leaders, health professionals, educators, and advocates to come together and explore health solutions, foster relationships, reduce stigma, and increase access to healthcare. And we're also here to connect with each other. So don't hesitate to spend some time browsing around. Check out the community tab and mingle and share your stories and ideas. We are a community and we are a family.
We're looking to all of you to help us make this conference as interactive as possible. One way to do that is to use the chat. Members of our team will be keeping an eye on the chat box. We're excited to see your comments and your reactions.
We are starting this morning with an inspirational message from the founder of Dr. Kavara Speaks. Here's Dr. Kavara Moten.
Thank you. Again, I'm Dr. Kavara Moten, and I am so honored to be here to share with you my journey, my very own lived experience with mental illness. My lived experience comes through the lens as a caregiver. For over 14 years, I was a caregiver of my mother, who was later diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia. My mom came to live with me when I was only 23 years old. In my 23-year young mind, I had no idea what this journey was about to begin. I knew something wasn't quite right with Mom, but I could never figure out what it was. There would be all kinds of occurrences where I was almost evicted from my home because my mom was knocking on the neighbor's door at 3 a.m. There were countless 911 calls because I had no answer and I had no understanding of what was it that my mother needed. This cycle continued for over 7 years. Over 7 years of 911 calls, mobile crisis units coming to my home, family not being able to assist me and my brother in navigating the hurdles of mental illness, because this was something that in the African American community we didn't discuss. This was something, with my mom being an ordained minister, if someone were to ask, how is she doing? She's blessed and highly favored. I was so conditioned to believe that speaking about such things or even asking the questions to people in my community or anyone that I thought could help me but no one had any answers. It wasn't until 2009 when my mother attacked me in Williamson County. The Williamson County decided to press charges, and my mom was placed inside the Williamson County jail. In that moment, when the sheriff picked up my mother, he looked at me and he said, "Miss Moten, the only way that you're going to be able to get your mom help is to leave her in jail." After 7 years of the battle, me and my brother going back and forth between mental health warrants and just trying to figure out how to navigate this, I knew in that moment the sheriff was right. Because my mom still had her free will. But in this moment, this was my window of opportunity to get her help. And even in the feeling of feeling like a horrible daughter, I knew this was the best decision so that I could finally get her diagnosed. In 2009, that is exactly what happened. When my mother was placed in Williamson County Jail, I was searching out all kinds of help, asking questions. My brother was looking for help. But at this point, we didn't know how to navigate the criminal justice system. Someone referred us to NAMI, the National Alliance of Mental Illness. And I called in desperation. I called looking for hope. Once connected with NAMI, I was connected with an attorney that helped us navigate the criminal justice system. He was able to get my mother moved from the Williamson County Jail to the Austin State Hospital, ASH. And from there, she was moved to the San Gabriel Crisis Center. But this was the beginning of a new chapter. This was the beginning of a newfound diagnosis, but also in the same sense, gaining a diagnosis, I still had little understanding of what was paranoid schizophrenia and how do we support her on this journey. The doctors and the team at the San Gabriel Crisis Center tried to explain to us what it was, but there was still this big gap of understanding how to see life through the lens of our mother. I went back to NAMI and I took a class called Family to Family. And that class equipped me to be able to understand schizophrenia through the lens of my mother. And also, how do I take care of myself while taking care of a loved one with mental illness? Then I became a family to family instructor, and I started to teach this class. And then I encouraged my brother to take the class as well. And I said, if me and you are both equipped with the knowledge and the information we need to help navigate mom's journey, we can work as a team with the same understanding. Little did we know, It wasn't enough just to have the information. I heard someone once say, taking care of a loved one with mental illness is like riding a roller coaster backwards. And little did we know, we were in the seat for the ride of our life. Our mother had a way of not taking her medicine or not accepting help. And as she began to not accept help, we began to lose hope. And in that moment, I recognized it wasn't our job to fix what the issue was. It was our job and our responsibility to be present, and do the best we could do. Coretta Scott King once said, "When fear rushed in, I learned how to hear my heart racing, but I refuse to allow my feelings to sway me." This new mother that we had to begin to learn and understand and respect, she was someone new. We had to learn how to be present where she was. We had to learn how to just be present and supportive in whatever it was that she would allow us to do. In that moment, I recognized that my mom's diagnosis wasn't something that I could fix or I could heal, but it was something that I could partner with her and walk along the journey with her. Sometimes, as a caregiver, we fail to recognize that it's not necessarily about fixing the situation, but it's about building that partnership and being as present as possible and not beating ourselves up the rest of the way. I remember one morning I woke up and our mother was gone. She packed up everything and she left, but we had no idea where she went for at least 20 days. In that moment, I was fearful. We were scared. We checked the hospitals, we checked the jails. We had no idea. Little did we know, our mother had made a conscious decision. She didn't want to be a burden to her children, so she left. And she moved to a different city. We later found her and later reassured her that, "Mom, we're your partners. We are here for you. We are here to walk this journey with you." For years to come, it became even more a constant struggle, a constant challenge of how to get her the support, how to get her the resources that she needed to navigate and have a certain quality of life. There was a lot of frustrations, a lot of challenges, but in it, we still loved her through it. And because we were able to love her through it, in 2016, Mom had a heart attack and she was diagnosed with ovarian cancer. And the doctor looked at us and said, your mom's cancer is it was 100% curable. But in this moment, because she hadn't received any care, the cancer had spread. And because the cancer spread, we had to take mom to hospice, where she later got her wings and transitioned to heaven on July 11, 2016. There were several moments leading up to that day where we thought we failed as caregivers. We thought we failed in the moment of connecting her to whatever it was that she needed. But it was also in that moment we knew we were walking all of these years alongside of her as a partner in her health, not as the authoritarian, not as the owner, but as a partner. And as a partner, we could only do what our mother allowed us to do. And that was support her, and that was to love her, and that was to nurture and care for her as she saw fit. Since mom has passed, we both have committed our lives to making sure caregivers and people living with mental illness know there is help and there is hope. Sometimes you can be walking through this journey, even as a caregiver. It just seems really dark. It seems like, how do I push through this? You push through it one day at a time, one moment at a time, knowing every time that you step in to care for your loved one, you are not only doing the best you can do in that moment, but you are making the best decision that your allowances allow for. Give yourself the grace and the space to say, I have done my best to care and love them through this journey as a partner. Since mom's passing, I've traveled all over the world sharing her story and our story. I want people to understand that mental illness and mental health advocacy, it's not a race that you win. It's a race that you share and partner through. Today, I'm here to partner with each of you, that you would be inspired and encouraged to know that your voice, your story, your journey is needed in our society. More people need to know that us caregivers, we are on the front lines, supporting, loving, navigating the hurdles of mental illness. Mental illness is not crazy, but what is crazy is that people are reluctant to talk about it. For a while, I did feel guilty, and I kept thinking, what if I would have got her to the doctor sooner? Was there any other way? Was there any other way to navigate this tragic end? And I recognize that this isn't the end. Because of this journey, I went on to serve all over the world, from New Zealand to England and the United Kingdom to many different countries where I shared the journey of mental health, my journey, encouraging caregivers all over the world, because I think you're important. I think what you're doing is important. Who you are and how you have given to the world and to the one that you love has been impactful and necessary. Most of the time we take on this journey not knowing how it's going to turn out. And sometimes it does not turn out the way we would like. But there is one thing that I do know. What you're doing is impacting lives. As I continued my journey, my circle came full circle. I formerly served as the Deputy Executive Director of NAMI Central Texas for over a year. And in that time, I was able to dive even deeper into the community of Central Texas and share my journey, share my story, encourage other caregivers to also use their voice. This is your moment. This is your moment to not let what the story may seem it looks like become that. You can only do what you have the power to do. But in it, give it your best. But also remember, you must take care of yourself. Former First Lady Michelle Obama once said, "For me, becoming isn't about arriving somewhere or achieving a certain aim. I see it instead as forward motion, a means of evolving, a way to reach continuously toward a better self." The journey doesn't end, and my journey doesn't end. From this point forward, I will continue mental health advocacy all over the world. Won't you join me? Thank you.
People like yourself who do what you do have made a world of difference for people like myself and for my family members who lived with someone with lived experience with mental health complications.
You are a source of tremendous hope for people who experience mental health conditions. Thank you.
Let's have some spoken words from Joe Brundage, an author, host, teaching artist, and public speaker living in Austin.
My name is Joe Brundage, and it's an honor to be here at the 2022 Central Texas African American Family Support Conference. This is a slightly newer poem that I've written. It's called Hope. It is holding on with empty hands. The place you take after the line has been drawn in the sand. It is in the way that you stand. Long after your legs have failed you, long after they have forgotten they were there, the kite forever waiting for the string to break. Hope is what is left after the quit leaves you. It neither lies or deceives you, but it will convince you to continue. Hope is truth in spite of fact, makes your spirit stretch, keeps your heart and soul intact. It is not the ambition that blinds, but the light that guides. Hope is surrender, and insurrection is a beautiful act of willful rebellion against the institution of common sense and futility. Hope is necessary insanity, the very essence of humanity, the very impetus of perseverance. In a nutshell, cannot be contained. It is not irrational or illogical, impossible or improbable. If it is not hope, hope is a winged decision. Hope is freedom born of volition. Blessed momentum and resolution. If you got it, you don't need a how. If it is in you, you don't need a when. When you have hope, you don't say why, you never say die, you just say again and again when it's too close to call, when the jury's still out. Hope is ascension above the mire of your doubts, water when there is desert all about, fertile ground from which dreams spout, keeping you fighting way after the bell rang out, keeping you quiet and focused, giving you cause to shout, to have nothing left but hope is everything. Hope is what we are about. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Joe, my dear friend, for spoken word. You know, every time I think about Joe, you know, we have this thing that we're going to give each other hugs on stage. And so we are here in a virtual world, and I just want to be mindful of the fact that while we're in our boxes, we are actually missing one another. And the opportunity to physically engage and to receive those hugs. Yes, phone calls are nice, text messages are nice, but there is nothing sweeter than being able to hug and grab your friends and family. Once again, Joe, we thank you for your spoken word today. And now, let's join Ms. Kay Hutchison of Akai Healing for some mindfulness exercises that will prep our brains and our bodies to receive the rest of the day.
Welcome, I'm Kay Hutchison of Akai Healing, and I'm here to get your energy boosted today. But did you know that we can boost our energy without actually getting up and moving our bodies vigorously? There's a type of small reset that we do that can immediately begin to bring blood to the brain. So let's begin to do that. And it has to do with tapping. Okay, we're going to come into our forehead and just gently begin tapping the very front part of our brains. We're going to work all parts of our brains to really get them calm, focused, and able to fully engage the beautiful workshops that we have. When we begin with increasing the circulation to our brains, then we begin to also regulate our emotional chemicals and hormones. Let's begin to come into the sides of the head, gentle taps, increasing that energetic flow. Come on down behind your ears to the area right behind your ears. Breathing deeply through your nostril, exhaling fully through your mouth. Inhale deeply through your nostril, exhale through your mouth. Last cycle breathing, inhaling through your nostril, exhale through the mouth. Come on down and tap to the sides of your neck, opening up a beautiful blood flow flowing from the arteries here upward into the brain, awakening the brain. Get that constant rhythm going. For the research shows us that when we engage in constant motions, it begins to immediately change our brainwave frequencies from states of chaos and intense emotion to calm centeredness. Good. Allow yourself to tap into the shoulders. Breathing deeply, inhale through your nose, exhale through your mouth. Inhale through your nostril, exhale through the mouth. Get that rhythm going. Release that stress from your shoulders. Come into your elbows. Release that stress from your elbows. Come into your wrists. Release that stress from your wrists. Come into your palms. Release the stress from your palms. Come into the fingertips. Releasing the tension from the fingertips. And then rub, 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 rub. Get that energy flowing through your hands. Make it hot. Let that blood flow come. And we're going to take all this beautiful energy that we are cultivating here and begin circulating it around our hearts. The heart is our source of social connection and passion and joy, and connecting into our highest spiritual selves, just regulating as this wind begins to blow so strong here outside my studio, regulating the force of passion and joy in your life. Let it blow through you as this wind is surely blowing. Feel the energy flow through the heart center and reverse and come the other way. Breathe in deeply and begin to recall a time in your life when you felt a sense of immense joy. Remember what that joy felt like in your body. Remember how you were breathing when you were happy and joyous. Remember that feeling of joyousness as a living, bright energy now flowing through your chest, flowing through your heart, and bring that energy down into the lower belly, placing the hands there right below your belly button. And we're going to begin to just move the energy down and around, shifting from side to side, circulating the energy of joyfulness now in the lower belly, letting an imaginary warm flame of energy circulate through the kidneys in your low back and the adrenals that sit on top of them, feeling and imagining that energy gently increasing as a warm, vibrant life force, and then gently shift in the opposite direction, beginning to warm through the lower belly, beginning to warm through the lower back. Breathe in through your nostrils. Exhale through your mouth. Breathe in through your nostrils. Exhale through your mouth. And then begin to gently brush down. Brushing and drumming the lower belly. We store our vital energy in the lower portions of our torso, in the lower belly, in the kidney, bladder. This lower portion of our torso can be like a well of energy. So if we get the energy moving through these areas, you're going to find as you go through the day, you'll have more energy. And as energy wanes, naturally, you might want to come back and re-engage these gentle resets to keep your energy flowing, strong, and easy. Beautiful. Let's end with this gentle brushing, just releasing any tension from the pathways in your arms, fingertips. Wiggle the hands, wiggle the shoulders, wiggle through the hips. Use circles at each direction. Let's end with inhaling to the divine heavens. Exhale, settle, feel a calmness beginning to descend with each exhalation. Inhale, increasing the frequency of your energy. Exhale, release and relax. Breathe deeply. Inhale, the final breath in. Exhale, release and relax. And feel prepared and ready for your next activity. Relax.
Before we hand you over to DJ Hella Yella for the remainder of the hour, I'd like to remind you that we're here to help you with any challenges. For help navigating around this virtual conference, click on resources in the main menu. There, you'll find both the FAQ as well as Hoover guides. Scrolling through both of those will likely answer your questions. But if you need more help or technical support, go to the conference website, CTAAFSC.com. and click on the chat box. A staff member is ready and waiting to help you.
And don't forget about all the fun happenings outside of the workshops and the keynotes.
The photo contest, under additional resources in the mobile app and on the main navigation on the web app has got some fun submissions already, so check them out.
And we've got a gift card raffle for the passport contest. You can enter the passport contest when you visit our exhibitors. At each exhibitor, there are 3 things you must do. Number 1, be sure to claim any deals and offerings. Number 2, you must like the booth. And number 3, you must post a comment or a chat to collect the stamp. The people with the most stamps at the end of the conference will be entered into a raffle to win a gift card.
You can also earn points and be entered to win a prize by taking surveys, polls, and giving session feedback. Click on the leaderboard to track how many points you have. And most importantly, remember that this conference is all about taking care of yourself. If you're feeling overwhelmed or need extra support, please visit our Comfort Suite located under the Community tab. Click on the Join to enter the Comfort Suite because there are some wonderfully warm volunteers there who, especially in these trying times of the last 2 years, they may not be the perfect replacement for our loved ones who we would like sitting next to us, but I promise you, their hearts and souls are there for you and you alone when you are speaking with them. They will support you without judgment, and you'll also find calming mindfulness exercises there, led by Kay Hutchinson.
You know, thank you, Elliot, for being, again, so transparent, and that's what this is about. I found myself getting a bit emotional in my box over here, right? And so I have to keep reminding myself just to breathe. And I hope that I'm modeling that for others and to be very mindful of those emotions that are coming up for you and what you may be feeling in the background. So again, the Comfort Suite is available. Finally, don't forget to get your beanies, your coffee mugs, your hoodies, and all your other goodies from the conference shop on the Central Texas African American Support Conference website. And you can find that at CTAAFSC.com. Again, that's CTAAFSC.com.
Now we'll hand you over to DJ Halayella. Remember, put your music requests in the chat until 9:55, and we'll see you in the session starting at 10.